I was working with the guy the other day and we were discussing step 3, and the way I explain step 3 can be somewhat intense. I make it very clear what it means to turn one's will and one's life over to the care of God. I point out how the book uses phrases like, God is our director, we have a new employer, we have to abandon ourselves utterly to God. Then I explain that step 3 is not about knowing God's will, it's about giving up our will. To which the newcomer objected, "But Derek, I can't just give up my will entirely. I mean, I have to set some goals, don't I?" Now, I want to be very clear to you, the viewer. Yes, I agree. Goal setting is very important. However, there's one caveat that I'd like to add to this, and that is, if you're newly sober and haven't worked the steps yet, there is only one goal you ought to have, and that is to take the 12 steps with as much fervor and enthusiasm as you can possibly muster. It's paramount to all other interests. There is nothing more important in your life. Now, I'm not in favor of any hard and fast rule that says, don't make any major decisions in the first year. If you're facing felony charges, about to lose your job, marriage is on the brink, kids have disowned you, facing eviction, you've got to make some major changes. Think of step 3 this way. You are agreeing to give up the next year of your life in exchange for the rest of your life. So where does the big book support this idea of setting goals anyway? Well, several places. The first of which has to do with happiness. We are told, we are sure that God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. Now couple this with the story of the boy whistling in the dark who is sure to drink again because he isn't happy about his sobriety, and we begin to clearly see how intrinsically valuable happiness is in terms of sobriety. In fact, when it comes to long-term recovery, happiness isn't optional. So it behooves us to know exactly how happiness works, right? I mean, if happiness is literally a matter of life and death for us, then we can't afford to be wrong about how happiness works. Contrast the importance of happiness with the delusion that's illustrated for us on page 61, that we suffer from the delusion that we can wrestle happiness and satisfaction from this world if only we manage well. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it? So if I've got delusional thinking around the way happiness works, and happiness is literally a matter of life and death for me, I'm not going to have a good time of it, am I? Fortunately, I've discovered a definition of happiness that I really prefer. Happiness is the deep sense of satisfaction which comes from pursuing a worthwhile goal. Now, naturally, this begs the question, what on earth is a worthwhile goal? And as we grow in our understanding and effectiveness through this program, we are promised that our thinking will more and more be placed on the plane of inspiration. Prior to establishing conscious contact with God, our goals are going to be influenced by things like fear, shame, self-sabotage, instant gratification, and we're going to be pursuing these things left and right and insisting that they're going to make us happy, trying to wrestle them out of this world. And this is the thing that clinches it for me, the directions for On Awakening. We consider our plans for the day, the only stipulation being that we ask God to filter our thinking so that we can be free of selfish, dishonest, self-seeking motives, and we can set goals that are in fact worthwhile. And this is one of the reasons that I don't personally coach people in their first year of sobriety, because in my opinion, you only have one goal, and that's to seek, establish, and improve your conscious contact with God. After that, yeah, let's set some goals and get you moving toward them. Hey, me again. Believe it or not, I am not going to ask you to like and subscribe if you find these videos helpful, because if you find these videos helpful, then obviously that's something you're going to do anyway. Now, if you'd like to share your gratitude, an easy way for you to do that is take a survey I designed, which is going to help me create better content for you and many others. It's free, takes less than a minute, and you'll get added to my list of favorite people who occasionally get sent invitations to live online events where you can chat with me personally. When you want to fill out the survey, you'll find the link in the description below. Either way, I appreciate you being here and look forward to getting together again in the next video shortly. Yeah? Keeper?